Yeah. Meanwhile, if anyone have any question from yesterday's session, we have quick 2-3 minutes. Yeah, Akbar, you can unmute and ask.
Yes, sir. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have successfully created the AWS account. So I was just checking that I'm getting an option here to explore like IAM, EC2S. Is that the correct time?
Yeah, so this is recommended as your account is new, so they want you to start working or practicing. But as told yes in yesterday's session, please wait for some time so that I can start elaborating, and whatever
Mhm.
things I take you through, start
Okay.
practicing on that only. The reason behind this is I don't want you to have more cost incurred in your account. So
Uh-huh.
what we decided, right? We will try to use free services, or if there is any
Yes.
paid service, we will try to use with minimum cost. So that's the reason I
Yeah.
request everyone not to start doing anything till the time we show you.
No, currently, I'm on a homepage only. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't
And
go
and and
through any of the.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks you asked this question, because this question would be helpful for others as well. Anyone else?
Uh,
So uh, the agenda for today's is on the screen. Okay, we'll start. So on your browser, go to AWS account login. Search for this. Okay, it is the same for the sign in page and login, sign up page and sign in page. Just uh, if somebody doesn't know the URL and all that, for that reason, I'm trying to show from the scratch. Okay, so go to any relevant option that you find suitable. Sign in is the option, account is the option, okay, management console is the option, and make sure you are trying to access the Amazon website. Okay, so here we are on the sign in page. So it is asking you to sign in with root account. Second is IAM user. So right now we have not created any IAM user. What is an IAM user? We will explore in the upcoming sessions. So as of now, we just know what is root user. So the email address that you use to create the account is called as root user email address. Okay. So now we'll quickly enter our root user email. Now it is asking for a password. So if you remember the password, it's good. If you have like if you might miss the password, please make a note of it. And I request not to share your credentials of AWS to anyone, because I have seen in past students share the credentials with somebody, their colleagues. So what happened when they share the credentials with their colleague? Uh, the colleague uses some services, and he is also not uh, well expert in AWS. He uses some resources that are having more cost. So the other person who is the account owner, he needs to pay for that. Okay. That's the reason I recommend not to share your credentials with anyone. Okay. So we landed on a different page. It is saying AWS Marketplace. Okay. So Marketplace is something else. Uh, so this might happen. So we chose the first option and we went there. So if don't panic if you land here. Okay. Just open another tab, or again in this tab, type AWS account login again. Okay. And choose this option, account login management console, any one of these. Okay. So it is a sign into the console again. As I already entered my credentials, it is not asking. So after creating the account, this was the page we have seen yesterday, right? So this is how a newly created account will look like. You will have an option on the top left side, just below console home. You have something called recently visited. So any service that you just visit or you have worked on, it will fall under recently visited. So don't worry about that. I was just exploring, so I got these services added to the recently visited widget. But for you, when you have created the account, it is a fresh account, you won't see any service here. So don't panic that uh, like this. Sorry. So don't panic if you see something different than my screen. So this is just a widget which shows recently visited service. I'm just repeating this because in past I have encountered people again reach out to me and say that we see a different dashboard than what you showed. So if you scroll down, you will have health information. So if you have any issues while accessing the AWS account and you have raised any tickets to Amazon, or you have raised any ticket to Amazon support, so that will show here. Okay. And if there is any cost and usage, because this is a fresh account, you won't see anything here. Okay. So the from Amazon, they will try to give you suggestions. Okay, start working on these services. So you can, if you want, you can scroll down and have a look. Just go through. The name itself indicates what it is. Okay. And this is something which is reflected on a freshly created account. Now we will start exploring what exactly this management console does and how it helps. Okay. So on the top left side, this is the Amazon home console logo. So wherever you are in the management console, if you click on this, it will take you to the home page of the management console. Okay. The second option is services. So once I click on services, I will see first recently visited. Just skip it. Okay. Favorites. If you have added any service in your favorites, suppose there is a service that you visit very often, so it will fall under here. And all services. So best way to understand the service, how what Amazon offers, is to click on all services. Okay. So it will give you alphabetically. If you are somebody who already knows something about Amazon Cloud, so it is the best way for you to explore. If you are the new person who don't know Amazon Cloud and just you're going through it, okay. So just below the all service option, you have categories, analytics, application integration, AR and VR. This is virtual reality. AWS cost management, blockchain. Again, this is a technology. Okay, business application, compute, container, okay? And there's a big list here. Okay, so I'll I'll give you examples that you can relate to. Databases. If I click on databases, on the right hand side, I will see services that Amazon provides for database. Okay. For storing documents, Amazon have its own service called Amazon Document DB. Okay. For NoSQL databases, what is NoSQL? We have seen in the first session, data is of three types, right? Semi-structured and unstructured. So whatever data is unstructured, so a part of it, or like a category of it, can be stored in NoSQL databases. And Amazon provides DynamoDB. This is Amazon's own database for NoSQL. So we are not learning database. That's the reason we won't go into much more detail. Elastic Cache, again, this is uh, a technique used to build the project. So people who are developers, they use this services. Okay. Again, if we scroll down, the common service which we will be looking at is RDS. So you might have heard of Oracle or MS SQL Server, MySQL, or Postgres. These are the relational databases, that is structured databases. So what do? I create a machine. In general, I create a machine and I install Oracle on that machine, and I start using Oracle database. I store my data inside this. So what Amazon says, if you want to use the machine only for database, then don't bother to create a machine, maintain a machine, apply security patches on the machine, okay, and make that machine highly available. That means, what if the server goes down or the machine goes down? So you need to create a copy of it, and you need to make sure that when the first machine goes down, the second machine is there to take care. So that is called as high availability. So Amazon says, why are you bothered about that? If you just want to use the database service, we will give you RDS. You go here and select what database you want, and we will create it for you. You don't have to worry about what operating system it is being used. You don't have to worry about how the security patches are applied. Amazon will take care of that. Okay. So this is how Amazon helps you. Okay. This is one example, databases. If you go to machine learning, this is the term everyone have heard, right? So we are not from machine learning background, and we are not going to work on machine learning. We are not data scientists or AI experts. Okay. We are here to learn Amazon. So for people or developer who needs these services, we will deploy them. We will deploy these services for them. Okay. So these are the services provided by Amazon for deep learning. Okay. For if you go down, okay. So Amazon Translate. So it is used for translating things. Okay. There are a lot many. Somebody are aware about containers. So if I go and click here, containers. So I don't need to create virtual machines and then deploy container. Rather, I can use Amazon's out of the box service, okay, for containerization. Again, blockchain. If somebody knows about blockchain, they can have a look, but don't deploy anything, because this will be done only when the project manager or the architect asks us to deploy. Okay, you can quickly go through the document how to use it, and you can deploy and give it to them. Rest, the development work will be done by the developers. Okay. Now, if you scroll down and go to the storage, so these are the categories on the left hand side. Once you select the category, on the right hand side, you will see the relevant services. Okay. So for example, EFS. EFS is Elastic File System, what Amazon calls it. Okay. So basically it is a file system. So what do? We create a file system, and we can add that file system to different computers within Amazon. People who are aware about networking, in general, this is the shared drive between different computers. If you have visited any internet cafe in past, okay, in that internet cafe, every computer, they have a shared drive, okay, that is not in that computer. So this shared drive is a shortcut in every computer. Once they store the data, actually it is being stored in that shared drive, and shared drive is somewhere else. So it's the same way EFS works. S3 is the common service and most important service. We will cover this in detail. So it is an object storage. You have an Excel file, you might have an MP3 file, a PDF file, okay, any kind of file you want to store in cloud. So the way you store it in your computer, you can similarly store it in cloud. The only thing, it is object storage. So whatever you store, MP3 or MP4 file or PDF file, it will be stored in cloud as an object. So directly you cannot play that MP3 file from S3. It is just a storage like a pen drive. Once you connect that pen drive to your computer, then only you will be able to use that file, right? Similarly, S3 is just like a pen drive, but a very optimized storage for storing object, any kind of object. In simple terms, object means things. You can store anything. Game development. If you have any idea about game development or you are a game developer, you can use these services. Okay. The common service is going to be compute. Inside compute, you have a lot of option. And the first, one of the first service that Amazon, when Amazon started, it introduced this EC2 service. EC2 is nothing but your computer machine that you're going to build on cloud. Amazon says EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, and Azure or Google Cloud, they say as virtual machine, VM. So all the cloud providers, they have common things to offer, just they have given different name. So if somebody knows VM, so this is VM only. VM is virtual machine. That is nothing but your computer, which has CPU, RAM, and storage. It is just like your laptop. Hmm? The only thing is you have a power to elastic to have elasticity. You can scale that one system to 100 system on the fly. So if I am going to host my website, let's say I'm going to host Flipkart, and the big billion day sale come as we spoke yesterday. So this system or this service will help me expand on the fly. So whenever the load on my website goes high, so it will keep on adding computers to my website. Okay, and how many, like it can add one by one. So I don't have to pay for all 100 computers that will be added at a time. So this is how this service section looks like. Okay. Uh, so there are a lot many. Obviously, if you have time, you can definitely go and explore. For example, in analytics, you have Athena to query. Okay, you have cloud search. This is EMR. EMR is again a famous service. It is for big data. Uh, you might have heard about term Hadoop. Okay, so you might have heard the term Hadoop. So Hadoop is the big data technology. Okay, as we discussed yesterday. So Hadoop will help you to process huge data in few minutes. Okay, so for that, Amazon has created its own version of Hadoop, and the service name is given as Elastic Map Reduce. So there are a lot many services. So if you have time, you can just go through it. But don't, I request, do not create any service or do not create any resource unless I ask you to. Okay, I'll close this. So this was the service section. Then here you have a search button. So in this search, you can, if you know the name of the service, you can simply type here. So whatever services or sub-services have the term called EC2, which I've searched for, it will show here. Okay, or relevant. The other thing is S3, right, for storage. If I type S3, I have this service here. So I can click on S3. I can open in the same or new tab. Okay, so S3 is being opened. So this is how S3 will look when you first open. Don't worry, we will learn S3 in detail as we progress. Okay. Then, if you move towards right, you have this icon, which is called as Cloud Shell. Okay. If you click on Cloud Shell, okay. So this is the first time if you open, you will see screen like this. Just close it. Okay. So what it is doing, this was not there earlier. Amazon has introduced a service. Google was having this service. So this is a Linux system. I have not created any virtual machine till now, but Amazon have created a Linux system for you to interact with Amazon console or any Amazon service. So this is a command line interface. So if you are not familiar with Linux, don't worry. I will just give you a simple example. If I do ls, it will list whatever is there on my screen in my directory. There is nothing. So if I create a file or a directory mkdir, okay, and directory name is test, so it will create a folder called test. If I do again ls, so it will show me there is a folder whose name is test. Okay. If I want to go inside the test folder, cd change the directory and type the directory name. So directory is nothing but the folder. In Linux we call directory, in Windows we call it as folders. So I have changed the directory to test. If I do ls now, nothing is there inside because we have created one empty directory. If I enter pwd, presently working directory, so it has given me the path, full path. So what is this path and everything we will understand when we start Linux. So don't worry as of now. Okay. So you can again hit on the top left button, Amazon console logo. It will take you to the home page again. So people who know Linux, they can just start working without creating a computer from here. Okay. Other thing is notification. What is notification? I will tell you after what I show you support. Okay. If I click on support, this question mark is support center. Go to support center. If you have any challenges, be it technical, be it account related, you can use this support page to raise your uh, query. So if you remember, when we created the account, we had three options: free, developer support plan, and business support plan. So under free support plan, we will be getting option to only raise query regarding billing, okay, and our account, like you're not able to log in or your account is suspended, things like that. If we have a developer support plan, then we can raise some development related queries. If we are using a service by Amazon for development, it is not working fine or you are not getting the expected output, okay, so at that time you can raise the concern. And again, in business also it is the same, and business will have some more advanced query raising option on. So if you go to technical on the right side, so this is, we are not eligible to ask technical. Okay. So in basic support plan on the left hand side, you can see, right, our plan is basic. You can change by paying money. So as of now, it is not needed. In case you got more build, so at that time you can come to the support plan and raise a request. Okay, so this is how it looks like. If I go back to Amazon console's homepage, so this was the notification button. If I click on that, if you have any open tickets, it will show here. This is the same set of option which we have seen here, open issues and everything, right? So right now, because you have just started, and unless you have encountered any real issue that you are raising ticket for, you don't have to bother about this. I hope it's clear till now. Any doubt? Please raise your hand. I'll wait for a few seconds and then I'll move on. Okay. So next to notification or support, you see something called Tokyo. As you all know, it is the name of city in Japan, right? Tokyo. If I click on this, I see a huge list. Okay. Now this is what we call regions. Okay. I'll just explain you in a bit detail. Okay. I'll use a bit of Hindi because on the request of some people. ये जो ऑप्शन है इसको हम बोलते हैं रीजन. ओके, ये है रीजन्स. रीजन्स बेसिकली ज्योग्राफिकल रीजन होते हैं जो फिजिकली सेपरेटेड लोकेशंस है हमारी। आपको दिख रहा है हियर इट इज मुंबई, देन सिंगापुर, सिडनी, टोक्यो। स्टार्टिंग में यूएस के रीजन्स है, नॉर्थ वर्जीनिया, ओहायो, नॉर्थ कैलिफोर्निया, ओरेगन। So I'll show you what region is in detail. So now just pay attention. If somebody is appearing for exam, it will help them. Okay. Okay. So what is this Flipkart? Okay. Flipkart, who accesses Flipkart? People from India. ठीक है। अभी फ्लिपकार्ट का वेबसाइट होस्ट करना है। सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, हम कहाँ होस्ट करेंगे? वेयर शुड वी होस्ट दिस? ओके, so we just saw a region called Mumbai. We have seen a region called California. Okay, then Sydney and Tokyo. There were many regions. So normally, what do you say? Where should we host Flipkart? मतलब Flipkart का वेबसाइट हम कहाँ होस्ट करना चाहिए? The answer is India. Okay, India में कौन सा region था? We have seen Mumbai. So now forget about this Mumbai and California and Sydney and Tokyo. Just focus on India. So we need to host Flipkart for Indian customers. So अगर मैं इसको US में होस्ट करता हूँ Flipkart को, और customers India से है, okay? So what they will do, they will try to access Flipkart. They will enter flipkart.com in the browser. जब वो enter करेंगे तो उनका request will go to US. यहाँ पे पूरा वेबसाइट होस्टेड है। Okay, now they will get the response back to India. ठीक है, India and US is geographically separated. तो हमारा रिक्वेस्ट इंडिया से यूएस ट्रैवल करेगा, अगेन फ्रॉम यूएस टू इंडिया द रिस्पॉन्स विल कम बैक। तो इसको टाइम लगता है बहुत ज्यादा। ओके, एंड इसमें कॉस्ट भी लगता है। एवरीथिंग इज देयर। और जो टाइम डिले है, वंस आई आस्क फॉर अ रिक्वेस्ट एंड आई गेट रिस्पॉन्स, दैट इज कॉल्ड लैटेंसी। इन द फर्स्ट लेक्चर आई टोल्ड यू राइट, स्टार्ट लर्निंग टेक्निकल जार्गन्स। तो ये वो चीज है, वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल लैटेंसी। लैटेंसी मींस the the time you get the time between request and response. Okay, that is called latency. मतलब to deliver a packet यहाँ से US से वापस आ रहा है जाकर, so this is called as latency. So what is good? Latency should be low or high. Latency कभी भी कम होना चाहिए, ज्यादा होना चाहिए. So low latency shows best performance. High latency, poor performance. Okay. So what I was saying, where should we host Flipkart website? So the answer is India. ठीक है, let's say if there is no region in India, तो हमको उसको किधर और होस्ट करना पड़ता था, somewhere else we have to host it. So at that time the request and response time increases, so the latency increases, so performance decreases. Okay, so इसके लिए you have to decide which region you are going to work in. So typically we are working from India, but we are working for the foreign projects. So projects might be in US, in UK, in Middle East. So at that time we have to choose which audience we are going to uh, build the project for. So if it is, let's say there is a famous website noon.com. Okay, this is Middle East website. Okay, so at that time you will make sure that you are not hosting it in US. So obviously this will all be decided by the architects and the project team. You are going to manage everything. If you are working as an architect, so you have to also contribute. So at that time you should need to know everything about region and the availability zone, which I'm going to show you after this. So what regions we have here? If I go and click on drop down, so why I am in Tokyo first of all. So whenever you create an account, Amazon will take you to some region. So not necessary you created the account from India, so you will be in Mumbai. Okay? You will land into some any region, any random region. और उसके पीछे एक logic है. I'll tell you later. So this is how. So now I have to wisely choose which region I'm going to work in. So right now this is a practice account. So I don't have any problem कि मैं टोक्यो में काम करूँ or I work in Sydney or Mumbai or Ohio. Okay. So just make sure in the beginning, whatever region you are working, so you will see resources created in that region only in that region. अगर मैंने मुंबई में कुछ machines बनाए हैं, so I cannot see that machines in Ohio or Tokyo. ठीक है. तो what people do, they create some resources in one region. उसके बाद they change the region बदलने के बाद में they forget, और वो उनको लगता है कि यहाँ पर तो कोई भी मशीन नहीं है, so still मुझे बिल क्यों आ रहा है. The reason is you have changed the region, और आपको इस रीजन में दूसरे रीजन के रिसोर्सेस नजर नहीं आते. You don't see the resources from one region inside another region. So make sure you stick to only one region while practicing. So don't rush, don't change the region and start practicing. Just wisely choose any one region, okay, and practice inside that. So region is nothing but a geographical location. So let's say, so this is a region called Mumbai, okay. Another region called Tokyo. This is another region called Sydney. Likewise, you have multiple region. Okay. If you scroll down, okay, Hyderabad. Hyderabad is one more region. Okay. So in India, they have again created one more region, Hyderabad. So this is the every region has a region code. Mumbai का region code क्या है? AP South 1A. AP stands for Asia Pacific. So एशिया का एरिया को एशिया पैसिफिक बोलते हैं. AP South 1. So this is the region code. For Mumbai, it is AP South 1. And for Hyderabad, it is AP South 2. अभी के लिए हैदराबाद I cannot select. It is disabled for me. So they recently started this region, और ये हर account के लिए available नहीं है. So when the region is matured, then they open it for every account. जब तक कि वो mature नहीं हो जाता है, it will be not accessible from all the accounts. So don't worry कि किसी को हैदराबाद select करने आ रहा है, किसी को नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है. So Amazon keep on expanding. वो हर थोड़े दिन में कुछ ना कुछ नया सर्विसेज या नया रीजन वगैरह ऐड करते रहता है. ठीक है. So this is रीजन कोड. Mostly people start working on US East 1, North Virginia. ठीक है. अभी आपको चूज करना है. अभी यूएस की कंपनीज है, उनका प्रोजेक्ट है. So they will deploy some projects here, some projects here. Okay. Because their user base is in US. किसी का अगर यूरोप में है तो यूरोप में इधर आ जाओ. ठीक है. आयरलैंड है, लंदन है, पेरिस है, स्टॉकहोम है, फ्रैंकफर्ट है. तो यहाँ पर दे विल सेलेक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर नीड, देयर रिक्वायरमेंट. दिस इज वन मोर रीजन कैनेडा. ओके. सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. रैंडमली यू कैनॉट चूज एनी रीजन और उसमें यू कैनॉट स्टार्ट वर्किंग. You have to very wisely choose the region. So I hope you got a good understanding of region. So it is geographically separated areas. Okay. So now let's say Mumbai. So Mumbai, if I select the Mumbai region. Hmm. So this region is a geographical representation. Now I will select only one region and I will explain how it actually is. Okay. So if I select a region, Mumbai or anything, okay. So this is my region. Inside that, I have few more things. So what is this? The first one is region. It is a geographical area or geographical representation area wise, and this is called as AZ. AZ stands for availability zone. What is availability zone? It is nothing but the actual physical data center. Okay. So every region has a couple of data centers, जिसको Amazon बोलता है availability zones. Okay. So first is region. Inside region we have multiple availability zone. That is physical located data center. अभी मुझे नहीं पता कि ये data center exactly कहाँ है. In the case where cloud was not there, we had only data centers. So as an organization who is renting services on data center, I know where this data center is located. I know the complete address. I visit the data center. मैं data center में visit भी करता हूँ. But in case of cloud, why think logically? Why cloud is called as cloud? Because you don't have to worry what is happening in background. आपको इसकी location का पता होना कोई जरूरी नहीं है. Okay, it is just denoted by A, B, C. So if the region code was AP South 1, so data center code or availability zone code will be AP South 1A, 1B and 1C. ठीक है. So ये है आपके actual availability zone जहां पे आपकी machines या आपकी services deploy होने वाली है. This is the region, the outer layer is virtual. Okay. And inside that availability zone is the real data center. Now we have one more catch. Typically, why I told you people will start working on North Virginia, क्योंकि this is the पहली चीज ये है कि it is the first region that Amazon built. इसके अंदर 6 availability zone है. A B C D E F A B C D E F G. Okay. A B C D E F. Sorry, my bad. So 6 availability zone है. It has 6 availability zone. Okay. Also, it is the first option in this drop down. So people tend to choose this option. Okay. So suppose if I give you option 1, 2, 3, so most of you will choose the option 1 because you are new, you don't know anything. So you will choose the convenient option. So 1 as in first number sounds good, so you will select that. Okay. If I give you 4 option A, B, C, D, most of you will select A if they don't know. So this is the reason most people will use North Virginia. The same reason most people will use the data center A, the availability zone A inside that region. Okay. If I ask you to create something, any resources, out of 100, more than 50% will use this. It is a general mindset. Okay. Nothing special, no logic. It is just a human tendency. So 50% से ज्यादा लोग ये region use करेंगे. Okay. So what about these two region? So they have invested cost in building this, right? So यहाँ पे बहुत कम लोग आ रहे हैं. Let's say 10% or 20%. So what is happening? The load is increasing on the availability zone A. ठीक है. यहाँ पे सबका load इधर ही आ रहा है. So what will happen? This data center will go down sometime. And as I told you yesterday, a good resource is which is optimized or which is good utilized. So we don't want underutilized and we don't want overutilized. Okay. So in this case, availability zone A will become overutilized and availability zone B and C will become underutilized. For that reason, what Amazon did, आपका account है, मेरा account है, ऐसे कई लोगों का account है. So for me, let's say, I will give you this example. Okay. So if this is data center 1, this is data center 2, and this is data center 3. Okay. Data center means availability zone, the actual physical data center. When I log in and select Mumbai region, for me, this is availability zone A. This is B and this is C. When you log in, it might be A, this might be C, this might be B for you. When somebody else log in, C, B, A. When the fourth person logs in, okay, B, C, A. Any combination will be there. So when I log in as a normal mindset, I will select A. You will also select A. This person will also select A. That person will also select A. This is a common logic like people will use. So in this case, the load will balance. Okay. If it was fixed for every account, this is the data center A or availability zone A. So this data center will go down first. So uske liye Amazon has came up with this logic ke it should be shuffled across accounts. So in for that reason, the load is balanced. And why I will select A, why not B? My wish. Because for region selection, I understand okay, I want this in India or Mumbai. For availability zone selection, I don't have any understanding what is there in background as a normal user or as a normal customer. So for that reason, most of them will select A. What will happen? When will I select B? मेरा एक database है. I have deployed in data center A. Okay. But what if data center A goes down? So I have deployed in data center C. This is a backup. This is the backup. So everyone will use the second availability zone as a backup. Or that one thing is called high availability. The other thing is called disaster recovery. Okay. Disaster recovery. So these are two different terms. High availability मतलब कि पहला वाला machine down भी हुआ, so people will not be impacted. As an end user, the website or that server will be up for them. Immediately इधर shift होगा control. In disaster recovery, पहला machine down हो गया, people lose the access, and uh, we make this machine as the primary. So after some downtime, थोड़ी देर के बाद this will become up. So there are two terms, HA and disaster recovery. HA stands for high availability and disaster recovery is disaster recovery. Like something went down, you work on it and it is now backup. Okay. Now come back to the first thing. Data center is AZ and geographical region is called region. So I hope it is clear. If anyone has any doubt, I'll give the time like after I complete the other things what I wanted to show. ठीक है? तो उसके बाद देखते हैं. You can ask. Now we'll switch back to the console. Okay. And last option here is your name, the account name that you have used while creating the account. If you click on that, sign out कर सकते हो. Okay. And you have few options. Account, if you click on account, it will show the account details. आपका नाम क्या है? Like what is the name of yours? What is the phone number you give? And all your personal detail. Okay. Click on organization. So it will help you create an organization. What is an organization? Um, I have created one account, but it is my personal account or an individual account. Okay. What if I want to add into an organization? उसमें billing consolidate होता है. Consolidate means mix हो जाता है. So this is my company. Let's say Accenture. I'm having multiple projects for like let's say for analytics. Analytics. I'm giving a project to a company, a consultancy. Okay. Accenture itself is a consultancy, but I'm just showing as an example. So a company is having a big project. Inside that, they want different accounts. Okay, one for customer analysis. Okay, one for that warehouse analysis. Okay, and one for let's say sales analysis. Okay, so these are three different sub projects, and every sub project has their own AWS account. So इसका अपना bill आएगा. Then Accenture will have to pay that bill. Okay, इसका अपना bill आएगा, Accenture will have to pay that bill. इसका भी Accenture will have to pay that bill. So what they will do, they will form an AWS organization. Inside that, they will add these three AWS accounts. Okay, they can have the consolidated billing, I mean common billing. They can create some security standards, uh, and they can impose that standards to these three accounts all at once. You might have 3, you might have multiple accounts. ठीक है, तो ये जो है ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लेवल वाला कॉन्सेप्ट है. We cannot practice. It's just good to know. When you will start working on real time project, at that time it might benefit you. If it is asked you to deploy, so you, if you have understanding, simple documents is के, if you go through that, you will get a good idea about. So organization ऐसा होता है. You can have multiple accounts and you can join all those accounts under one umbrella. This is my account for some project A. This is project B, project C, project D. ठीक है. So billing is consolidated. Security standards are set and imposed on all the accounts. ठीक है. ये theoretical part है. We cannot do it practically. But even if you want, you to you or your friend can collaborate. You can combine your account under one umbrella for testing purpose. Now I'll come back here. So third one is service quota. Simply, you have created a new account. Amazon have more than 200 or 250 plus services. Okay. How many resources for that service you are going to use? Let's say I want to create virtual machine. Okay. I have an account. I want to create virtual machine. I created this. Okay. उसके बाद में आगे created one more machine. फिर और एक machine. ऐसा करते 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 मैंने 100 मशीन बना लिए और 100 के 100 मशीन को मैंने रन करके छोड़ दिया. आई डिड नॉट स्टॉप और टर्मिनेट द मशीन्स. उसके बाद क्या होता है, सडनली बिल आता है $1000 और मैं पे नहीं करूंगा. तो when Amazon is not confident about how you will perform in terms of billing, तो Amazon आपको ज्यादा रिसोर्सेस यूज नहीं करने देता है. First you have to prove, then you have to ask for increase in the limit. So by default, let's say ये VM की लिमिट है 20. हर रीजन में, every region I can create 20 machines. Okay. When I try to create 21st machine, Amazon will not allow. ठीक है. तो कभी अगर आप मशीन बना रहे हो और आपको एरर आता है, तो एरर को ठीक से पढ़ना. It will show that you are exceeding the service limit. This is also referred to as soft limit. ठीक है. तो आप 21st मशीन नहीं बना सकते हो, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, Amazon को बोलना पड़ेगा, रिक्वेस्ट, I need to build more 20 machines and you need to justify कि I am doing this project for this purpose. So Amazon will see how old is your account. आपका अकाउंट कितना पुराना है, आपका यूजुअल बिलिंग कितना है, आप उतना पैसा भर सकते हो या नहीं भर सकते हो. लाइक द वे यू गेट अ क्रेडिट कार्ड, एवरी क्रेडिट कार्ड हैज अ लिमिट. Somebody might have 50,000 limit, somebody might have 10 lakhs limit. It's based on their सिबिल स्कोर, उनका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, उनका बैंक अकाउंट में कितना पैसा आता और जाता है. ठीक है. बेस्ड ऑन दैट दे विल गिव यू अ लिमिट. You can however increase the limit by requesting to the bank. Same way you can increase the limit by requesting to AWS. So this is where service limit. तो यहाँ पे you can see 9 services, but actually this is just a dashboard. You can delete some services and add new services here. उसके अलावा you have every service जिस पे limit है. This is just a dashboard. If you go to AWS services, you will have list of all services. If I write EC2, EC2 Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. ठीक है. If I go for reserve instances, okay, new reserved instances per month. If I click here, so applied quota value is 20, default quota value is 20. By default, Amazon gives limit of 20. Is it adjustable? Yes, it is adjustable. I can request quota increase and I can ask for more. How much I want? I want 100, okay, or 1000. So you can request for that. ठीक है. So अभी कुछ मत करना है because 20 is a good number for us to start with. Real time projects में definitely we have to increase. And for business account also, business AWS account, they will get only 20 first. they will have to prove that why do they need that. Then Amazon will grant their request. Okay. After that, billing. Okay. So if I click on billing, ये मेरा billing dashboard है. Okay. So right now I did not use any service, or like not even free or paid. So if I use the paid service, some charges will start appearing in this dashboard. Okay. So for the simplicity, as the beginning, you go to bills. Hmm? We in the month of March, what is my bill? 0, क्योंकि मैंने कुछ भी यूज नहीं किया है, right? From March 1 to March 31st. Okay. Here is like that. If I go to payments, okay, payments में मैंने अभी तक कुछ पेमेंट किया नहीं है. So once I pay to Amazon, my details will be stored and my payments record will start appearing here. Then credits. This is the important thing. Any promotion is going on from Amazon side, or you got some credit because of something, तो यहाँ पे वो appear होगा. How much credit you got? Okay. Out of that, how much you have used? Let's say I got $100 credit. उसमें से मैंने 20 use किया, तो it will appear 20 here. Okay. And it will show the expiry as well. तो अभी तो कुछ भी नहीं है इसलिए नहीं दिखा रहा है. एक्सपायरी आता है. किसी के पास अगर कुछ वाउचर कोड है तो दे कैन रिडीम द क्रेडिट फ्रॉम हियर, इंटर द प्रमोशनल कोड एंड ऑल दैट. ठीक है. उसके बाद में सम आर द पेड सर्विसेज, कॉस्ट एक्सप्लोरर एंड एवरीथिंग. दिस इज द पेड सर्विस, कॉस्ट एक्सप्लोरर. बिजनेस वाले अकाउंट्स में वी यूज इट. वी पे टू Amazon, इट विल गिव मी सम डैशबोर्ड जहां पे मेरा कॉस्ट पिछले मंथ का कितना यूटिलाइजेशन था, ओवर लास्ट ईयर कितना यूटिलाइजेशन है, वो सब दिखाएगा. ठीक है. तो ये कॉस्ट वाला मैनेजमेंट है. सो दिस इज पेड वन. वी कैन नॉट सी राइट नाउ. जब आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करोगे, यू कैन हैव अ लुक एट इट. ठीक है. आई विल कम बैक टू बिलिंग अगेन. ठीक है. यू कैन डाउनलोड द CSV फाइल एज वेल. ये धीरे धीरे आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हो, नॉट अ बिग डील. ठीक है. परचेस ऑर्डर. परचेस ऑर्डर कब आता है? अगर आपने कुछ परचेस किया है पहले से. अभी तक तो हमने कुछ नहीं किया. दिस इज अ फ्रेश अकाउंट, सो थिंग्स विल लुक एम्प्टी. ओके. नाउ बिलिंग इज डन. लास्ट इज सिक्योरिटी क्रेडेंशियल्स. ये दिस विल फॉल अंडर अ सर्विस कॉल्ड IAM, आइडेंटिटी एंड एक्सेस मैनेजमेंट, जो हम डिटेल में कवर करने वाले हैं. तो एज ऑफ नाउ, नो पॉइंट इन शोइंग यू दिस. बेसिकली आपके अकाउंट रिलेटेड सिक्योरिटी है. ठीक है. एंड सेटिंग्स में तो सेटिंग्स रहेगा नॉर्मली, लाइक बेस्ड ऑन योर रिक्वायरमेंट यू कैन लुक एट दिस एंड यू कैन चेंज समथिंग, डिस्प्ले वगैरह, सेटिंग वगैरह कुछ करना है तो. I'll go back here to management console. Now I'll allow you to ask any question if you have. Yes, Nadeem, please. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
In the billing section, do we have some kind of a cap fixing?
You mean to say you want to get notified?
No, not notified. I can put some limits.
Yes, you can.
Can you please show that?
So it's not a good time to show it right now.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because it's all
Kindly
happens in the
note that
organization.
question, and whenever you feel that, please
Yeah.
show that.
If I want to restrict that my bill should not increase after $100, and
That's
I
right.
won't. Yeah, because what happens? I'm an individual user, so I know what I'm using. But from an organization's point of view, they have their budget, right, to spend. So in that case, that happens.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, I'm not going into more detail because it might cause confusion to people who are new to AWS.
Understood.
That's the reason.
Understood, Amar.
Anyone else? Mostly, I would like people to ask if they have understood region and availability zone. That is my main concern, because that will help you build the network.
And any scenario can you say about the cross account access? Or later, maybe later.
Yeah. later we will cover.
Sure. Thanks.
In the IAM section, we will cover hopefully.
Sure.
Anyone else? Okay. Uh, I know we have reached the time. We had one more thing in the agenda. Unfortunately, we were not able to cover that. It was to create a virtual machine and show how actually AWS works from the beginner's point of view. What exactly cloud? We just got the theoretical understanding. We just saw the interface, but what exactly we are going to achieve after like creating an account, or what do companies do? So one of the basic example was to have a machine. So if like I would say let's do it tomorrow, or if you want then we can show it right now, but it might take 10 more minutes. uh, okay, then we can do it tomorrow. Yeah, anyone else, any doubt, any question?
Are when we have different availability zones, services
Mhm.
are restricted to specific availability zone? Is a scenario in some case, or all the services are available in all availability zones?
See, region and availability zone. So whenever Amazon introduces a service, so it is based on region. So it first typically it introduces in the first region, which we are in right now, North Virginia. After the testing and after the response, then it starts introducing into different regions, because this is the heavily used region. So once the service is available in any region, let's say Mumbai, so it is available in all the AZs, availability zones. So services might differ from region to region, but once we are in a region, all the services will be available to all the availability zone. This is why like we saw the concept of region and availability zone, that this is a different geographical region. Okay, and this is the different region, and this is the AZ. So if a service is in any region, it is there in all the AZs. There are chances that a newly introduced service is there in one region and not in another region. One example is like uh, this is the region, right? So I don't see Hyderabad, like I am not able to select Hyderabad region, because it is not available for everyone. So whenever a new region or a new service is introduced, it is not available for everyone or every region. So once it is there in a region, it is there in all the availability zones.
So we can say that services are tied to regions and not to availability zones.
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyone else? I see like people are there, but I just want to know if they have got the concept of these things that I've shown you. Any doubt or feedback? Akash, Aslam, Om Prakash, Ravindra.
Everything is fine.
Thank you. There is a survey link shared in the group. Please fill that. Only there are 3 questions. It will help us to understand. Because few people reached out to us saying that the time is not suitable. So we decided to conduct a vote on that, because we cannot just change the time based on 1 or 2 requests.
Yeah, fill the survey form.
Okay, thank you, Nadeem. All the attendees, I request you to do it, please. Also, we encourage you to go to our LMS platform and purchase. It's not a compulsion, but you can have all the upcoming recordings consolidated in one course as a course. So yeah, as these are the starting sessions, we are sharing the recording, but we won't be sharing the recording afterwards. So that is the thing. If you want to, if you feel that you need to go through the video and practice, then it would be helpful for you. If you feel that you got the understanding of everything and you can do it on your own, then please do it. Like, we will be happy that in one shot we were able to deliver the thing that we wanted to.
How soon you upload this video on the LMS?
By afternoon,
Okay, okay.
because after recording it takes time to process and we have to just edit and upload.
Sure. I have gone through the LMS. It works absolutely very fine.
Yeah, thank you, Nathim. Yep. You liked the interface?
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay, thanks a lot.
As you said that you are going to introduce the questionnaire quizzes,
Yes.
that will improve a lot.
Yeah. Well, once we progress, yeah, definitely we will, because these were just introductory sessions, right? So
Understood.
and also in LMS, in that course, we will be having a lab which will help any person to have an expertise on AWS Cloud. So obviously, whatever we have learned in the course, it will be a real-time lab. Lab means the way we work in the industry, the kind of activities we do, not the basic or introduction activities, the same way. So one example I will give you, on YouTube, you can learn how to host a website, but there are many courses that will teach you how to host a website, but only expert will take you through how to build a website like Amazon or Facebook and everything. So that you cannot learn on the YouTube or any introductory sessions. So that is the difference we are trying to maintain. We are trying to stick towards real time. How much, like, whatever we could introduce in the course related to real time, that is we are aiming for. So how we work on cloud in real time in corporate, so we are trying to have the same experience for you. So, okay, then we are like 5 minutes ahead of time. I hope you understood everything what was taught today. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, bye everyone.